Here's another example of factoring a quadratic expression. So this time let's take a look at x squared minus 9x plus 14. So again, because the leading coefficient is 1, this is just going to factor into x plus or minus something times x plus or minus something else. Okay, now what we want to do is the same thing we did before. Okay, we want two numbers that multiply to this guy right here, which is positive 14. And we want those two numbers to add to negative 9. Okay, we want to be careful with the minus sign here. So here we have minus 9x, so we have to have those two numbers add to negative 9, not positive 9. Okay, so again, we want those two numbers to multiply to positive 14, and they have to add together to get negative 9 because of the minus sign right here. Okay, now if we come off to the side here, and 14 is, now yeah, it's 1 times 14 and it's 2 times 7, but that doesn't do us any good because if we add 1 and 14 or if we add 2 and 7, we're never going to get a negative number here. So what we have to do then is express 14 as a product of two negative numbers. Because remember, when you multiply two negative numbers, you still get a positive number as a product. But what's nice here is if we add two negative numbers, we're going to get a negative number as a sum. And that's what we're looking for, a positive product and a negative sum. So we have to express 14 as a product of two negative numbers. Okay, let's actually go ahead and write that. A little more space, a little easier to read. So 14 is negative 1 times negative 14, and it's also equal to negative 2 times negative 7. Okay, now does this work here? So negative 1 times negative 14, of course the product works, that's how we just found this. But what if we add those two numbers together? Well, negative 1 plus negative 14 is negative 1 minus 14, which is negative 15. So no, that's actually not going to work. So no. Now what about negative 2 and negative 7? Well, of course the product works because that's how we found those numbers, but what happens if we add them together? Negative 2 plus negative 7 is negative 2 minus 7, which is negative 9. And that's good because that's exactly what we're looking for. So if we come back up here, so what we just found out was that the two numbers we're looking for are negative 2 and negative 7. So here we put negative 2, and then here we put negative 7. And then that gives us our answer. X squared minus 9x plus 14 factors into x minus 2 times x minus 7.